The world has gone nuts for the Espresso Martini, but this is the cocktail that you should be drinking if you want a boozy caffeine hit. This is the Carajillo. Today I'm going to show you how to make it. It's actually rather easy, to be fair. And then we're going to go down a whole rabbit hole of putting fun variations on this cocktail. Now, before we go any further, disclaimer, long-time viewers will know that I have trouble pronouncing words. That is good. I've been practicing Carajillo. I've been practicing that. A lot of you guys know I've only just flipping learned how to say espresso and not expresso. And that's all to do with sinuses. But the Carajillo is this phenomenon in Spain and Mexico, so Spanish origin countries like Mexico and places like that. And it is fantastic. Now, as I said, this cocktail is very, very easy to make. Essentially, it looks like that. However, I just want to do a different flip on it straight away, because I actually, while I've done that for dramatic effect and while it looks really good like that, I actually want to show you how I would personally make the cocktail. And I'm going to shake it. All right. So first things first, it's just simply a 2-ingredient cocktail. It's all it is. We've got our Liqor 43 herbs and spices. The overriding flavour is vanilla, and you want a 50ml double bubble of that. And look, as I've said a few times, you know, I don't have a coffee machine here. I go out for coffee a lot. So, you know, for me, having a coffee machine here kind of negates that. But I actually do use a brand like this. This is Solo. And I use this in my business when I'm doing cocktail masterclasses and events. It is just 100% cold brew espresso. It's phenomenal stuff. It makes immense espresso martinis. I've used this for a good couple of years. I get it from, let's be honest, I get it from Ocado, but I get it from anywhere else in the UK. It's just really easy to get, and it's perfect for people like me. But if you've got a coffee machine, use your coffee machine. It's just really, really easy for me to do that. So, and it's just equal amounts. So I've done 50ml of Liqor 43, 50ml of espresso. So first up, we're going to shake it with ice. Then I'm discarding that ice, doing a dry shake to really get that froth going. And then just simply pour all that into a double old-fashioned glass with ice. Now, whichever way you prefer to serve it is completely down to you. I do prefer it shaken up like that because I like the velvety consistency, the foam in there. I do prefer that. However, a lot of people are going to prefer it like that because you get that layer of coffee, but the layer of Liqor 43 that comes up afterwards. There is no right or wrong. You do you. I just think this is 10 levels above that. It really is. It's one of my favourite drinks these days. Now I'm going to do what I do best, and that's get into some fun variations on a Carajillo. I'm trying. I've got another OG with Liqor 43 coming up. I've got 3 more fun variations, but as always, I'm going to keep the camera rolling because my membership community, we're going to get another 5 of these to play with and try out. Now, the first variation is direct from Liqor 43 themselves. And one of their recipes is actually, they say swap the Liqor 43 for their chocolate variant, for a chocolate kind of Carajillo, if you like. Now, not an issue. I was going to say my issue with this. I don't mean that. My take on this, there we go. That's a more polite way of saying it. Look, let's be honest here. Liqor 43 is 31% ABV. The chocolate, 16% ABV. So you're dramatically changing the alcohol levels. Now, it's not that I'm saying I want more booze, but it does affect the balance of the cocktail. So instead of doing a straight swap for your plain, your vanilla Liqor 43, your original Liqor 43 to chocolate, I actually prefer the addition of this. Now, this will all depend on the size of your glass that you're using or whatever. I'm going for straight up kind of 30, I'm going to do 35 mils here, but in equal parts. All right, play back with the ratios. You might prefer 50ml of that, 50ml of coffee and 25ml of chocolate. You play about. There was no right or wrong here to get your sort of precise measurements. But as I say, just because I know the size of the glass that I've got coming, it's another one of those, just slightly different. 35ml is going to work perfectly. So we've got 35ml of Licor 43 original. Now I've got 35ml of this gorgeous, sexy chocolate liqueur. Now, just a point on this, just very, very quickly. I've mentioned it in a couple of other videos. Like, the big difference between this and like chocolate Baileys, for example, is that this is actually the Licor 43 at the base of it. So those 43 herbs and spices and the overriding flavour is vanilla, just added with chocolate. Whereas just your chocolate Baileys is just, you know, your Irish cream liqueur and chocolate. That's it. So you've got a lot more flavour going in this as a chocolate liqueur. You could, and this is sort of coming out, I think it's in the membership community, you play about with the creme brulee and horchata versions as well. All right, so you've got those that you could kind of go in here, but we're going for a chocolate, and we've got 35ml of my cold brew coffee. So shake with ice, rice shake without ice to get even more foam. And again, just pour that into your glass of choice. And there we go. A fantastic chocolate Carajillo. I love that drink. I really, really do. I personally do feel it does need the addition of the Licor 43 there. Just don't do a straight swap for your chocolate, because it does need that little kick of alcohol. Honestly, I've drunk so many of these over Christmas. This is definitely the new Espresso Martini, 100%. This is gorgeous. Now notice I haven't garnished this, because traditionally, the Carajillo isn't actually garnished, but you could do the obvious one. I'm going to do it in a few videos, a few recipes coming up in a second, like a dried orange. There was one recipe in particular coming up in a second that will definitely benefit from the orange in there. But you know, you could do the coffee beans on top, you could do the grated chocolate on top, you could do ground coffee grounds, like as a little sprinkle on top of there. Obviously, that's going to be more of a garnish with an orange, if you really wanted to, and these are going to be more sort of garnished with those coffee beans or chocolate or something like that. But at the end of the day, this is just a functional drink at the end of a meal. And do you know what? The coffee, the chocolate one is very much an indulgent one, but that for me is definitely like, if I ever go out for a meal and I see that they've got Licor 43 behind the bar, that is definitely how I finish a meal, because that is fantastic. I love that. So much better than the Espresso Martini. So much better. So now that we've got the two, I should say, OGs out of the way, it's time for what I do best, and that's those variations, those fun riffs. As I mentioned, there's 3 coming here, and there's another 5 coming in the membership community. The cameras will stay rolling. Now, the first version of this is the straightforward one. And that's kind of like the boozy version of the Carajillo. And that's the addition of a kind of a base spirit. Now with coffee, with espresso martinis, you know, espresso martini, it was invented, it was created with vodka at the base of it. But people do not, I've said this in various espresso martini videos along the way. Do not think that you can't change that vodka up, because they're all going to work. You've got to just think, from my point of view, my background, the sort of restaurant bars that I was in, the flipping Irish coffee was huge, far bigger. We served far more Irish coffees than we ever did espresso martinis. Irish coffee is just Irish whiskey and coffee, espresso. So a whiskey espresso martini is going to work. A tequila espresso martini is going to work. A rum espresso martini is going to work. So that is all the same for a Carajillo. Now, I could go down those rabbit holes. Tequila, for me, at this precise moment, would be that one. However, I've got tequila coming up in the second variation coming. So the one that I was going to show you to kind of, I think that would be more on a mass market, is actually spiced rum. And the spiced rum that I'm going to use is Anne Bonny. Now, if your eagle eyes will notice there's not a spiced rum from behind the bar. This is not a paid promotion, but the guys that distribute Licor 43 were very kind to me and sent me those bottles of Licor 43. And actually, one of the rums that or one of the other products they distribute is Anne Bonny. So I thought I would tie this in together, just as more of a thank you than anything else. But the whole reason I've got this as well is because this is actually another proper spiced rums. Remember when I was in that sort of spiced rum journey and I was going on about, I'd much rather focus on spiced rums that actually had some spices. and like real rum, as opposed to lots of sugar and lots of flavour compounds. This is a properly spiced up rum, and it is gorgeous, but it could, to be fair, it could live on the back bar, and it probably should live on the back bar. But the only other spiced rum I've really got up there is Cane Rock, and obviously John at Goldstone Rum down there again. But all of those are proper spices. There's no flavour compounds involved here. Now, all that out of the way, you're not here for a freaking spiced rum lesson. You're here for a Carajillo lesson. But I just kind of, you know, there's certain people that will love that sort of education. I kind of want to help people in there. Got nothing against other spiced rums, but, you know, at the end of the day, these have actually some spices as opposed to dropper bottles. Anyway, shaking cocktail again. We're going for this. I'm going to serve this up in a martini glass, I think, a shaken martini glass. So slightly less. I know the glass I'm going to use, but I'm going to do equal measures of this. So 30 ml of your spiced rum, 30 ml of your Liqor 43, and then 30 ml of your espresso. And the glass I'm going to serve this up is in my slightly smaller sort of coupe glass in there. Hence I've done sort of 30 ml measurements. I'm just going to strain that now. Don't need to double strain because we've already strained out the ice. So you can kind of see what 30 ml equal measures does. With ice, you know, 35 mils, you know, it's completely up to you. The ratios will depend on the size of your glass at the end of the day, okay? So if you've got a slight, I think this is a 6 ounce martini glass, or coupe glass, I should say. If you've got a slightly bigger one, 7 ounces, I've got lots of sort of 7, 8 ounce sort of those that I think that's 8 or nearly 8 ounces in there. You need a lot more, but just keep those ratios right. But again, you know, garnish that with an orange peel, garnish that looks more like an espresso martini. It's just a spiced rum Carajillo at the end of the day because of that Liqor 43, right? There we go. That works very, very well in that. Oh, that complements the Liqor 43 exceptionally well. I can't remember the actual DNA of this spiced rum. I put it in the comment in the description below of that. Well, I'm getting very big orangey notes off that. That's just fantastic, fantastic. So the first proper fun variation, but your second recipe, is tequila and orange Carajillo. Stick with me. This is absolutely next level. So, tequila, Carajillo, tequila, reposado. I actually think an añejo might work very, very well in here as well. But I'm going to go to the mass market, and I'm going to kind of go for, you know, just what I think would probably hit the spot. We've got enough in there. The size of the glass I'm going for a 50 ml double bubble of your tequila, 50 ml double bubble of your Liqor 43, 50 ml double bubble of espresso. I don't even know why I'm using a little squeezy bottle. It just goes straight out the carton. There we go. 50 ml double bubble of your coffee. Now, the orange I have got here is 100% squeezed orange, but you could use like half an orange. You could just get an orange, cut it in half, squeeze it there. But I've just got a bottle. I've got a bottle here of freshly squeezed 100% orange with the bits in, you know, so that's pretty much the same stuff sort of thing. I just prefer to have that. And I'm going for 15 ml of orange juice with bits. And then to round that all off, we've got some orange bitters here. We've got Miss Bitters, orange tree bitters. And again, bitters are up to you. Levels, I'm going for 10 drops here. And just pour that, because we've already double strained it, into another rocks glass, double old-fashioned glass with ice. Now, this definitely deserves to be garnished up properly. So I've got some cinnamon, and I'm just going to grate some cinnamon over the top here. And already that aroma is amazing around here. And then just a Frona dried orange just on top. Oh dear God. I'm starting 2025 strongly out of the gate here. This is the third or fourth, you know, video that I've kind of filmed this year. And I've already sort of proclaimed that a few cocktails are going to be my cocktails of 2025. You know, this is another one. That is insane. Do you know what? As much as I love all of those so far, even the spiced rum sort of Carajillo kind of espresso martini there, this is the levels of flavour going on in here. The orange juice with the coffee, with the cinnamon laid on top, with the vanilla notes of the Licor 43, with the tequila. Wow, that is an explosion of flavours on your palate. So many different directions, but at the end of the day, this is going to sound rather nuts. It's not overly complex, even though because of those flavours are basic. You've got coffee, you've got vanilla, you've got your tequila, you've got your orange. It's not like subtle nuances. They just, wow. Wow. So your third variation, don't forget there's another 5 coming in the membership community, but the third and final one in this video, we're going for a honey spiced Carajillo. Pretty basic. I'm going to go slightly smaller, and I'm going into, I'm going to use the same glasses. I've got 2 or 3 of these, so the same glasses. Actually, we'll give you a different glass, but first off, Licor 43. So this is slightly smaller, okay? 30 ml of Licor 43. 30 ml of your espresso, honey tequila. 15 ml, 1.5 of the Cascabel honey tequila liqueur. The spice is coming from my Bitterman's Hellfire Habanero shrub bitters. This will be on you. I'm going for it because the size of this, and you know, coffee's got big flavours anyway. I'm going for 10 drops. Oh, that was probably about 4 or 5 in one then. There we go. If you want it spicier, add 15. If you want it less spicy, 5 or 6. But bear in mind, this won't blow your head off. It's not like eating, you know, like a naga chili or anything like that. This just gives you a lovely sort of warming heat. And then the final ingredient, so if you've watched a Paloma video recently, this is my other saline solution. This is just Cornish sea salt, not smoked Cornish sea salt. Smoked might be quite nice in here, but I'm just going for the plain salt. So 5 drops of my 20% saline solution. Now I'm just going to pour it into this lovely little cocktail glass from Artist, and to garnish, orange, grated cinnamon, coffee beans, coffee grounds on there. Do you? It's you know, this is where the fun. Carajillo doesn't need much garnishing, to be fair, nor does an espresso martini in the grand scheme of things. What are we going for? Honey spiced. Oh dear God. And then wow. That's about 5 seconds afterwards, the chili heat hits you. It's the honey. The chili's there. It's the honey first off. The honey coffee. Wow. Oh. The honey, the Licor 43 and the coffee, they're the first things. Honey. It's kind of, the vanilla's there, just subtly in the background, but it's that honey that takes it. But that lovely hint, I've got the saline now. I forgot that was in there. The saltiness, that little touch. That is beautiful. Oh my God. The Carajillo, purely because it's Licor 43, makes espresso martinis not even 10 times better. 20, 50, 100 times better. I personally would probably not have an espresso martini ever again because I would default to a Carajillo. If I saw Licor 43 on a back bar, I know they'd be able to do it. Wow. Do you know what? The next 5 coming up in the membership community, they are going to be huge if they're going to topple any of these. But let me know in the comments below if you ever made a Carajillo. Do you enjoy it? Do you love it? What variations have you got on a Carajillo? Let me know in the comments below. Members, I'll see you in my membership community. But for those of you that aren't members that want another video, another cocktail that I kind of dissect and put fun variations on, dive into that video right there.